on the tape.
So, I'm at work. It's 3:30 in the morning. I have a little extra time, and I saw it Chapter 2 last night. And I feel like this is the best way to get it out fast. I know this isn't the most fabulous setup, like I'm in my car, but I want to talk about the pros, the cons, and my score, and then maybe a little bit of spoilers after. So for the pros, right off the bat, I have to say there's a lot of laughs. The cast as a whole is 90% good. There's one person that I feel like they didn't really quite get right, and they, even when they use flashbacks in this movie, and I think that worked for the film, but even when they flash back, I feel like the character they flash back to is not the same character he was in Chapter 1. Especially what my girlfriend pointed out, the age difference. I know they're kids, but they did look a little older since they shot the sequel, was probably a year or two after. You could tell the age of a few of them changed, and I get it, that happens. It's a minor setback for the film, but it is a setback. But back to the pros, there's a lot of laughs. Like I said, Bill Hader does an excellent job at the funny stuff and the dramatic stuff. I think he does a phenomenal job. Everyone's pretty solid in this. James McAvoy has slowly became like a star actor, I guess you could say, with the Split Unbreakable franchise, the X-Men movies, and now he's in It. And I feel like he's slowly climbing up the ranks when it comes to being a star in Hollywood. Other than that, we get a whole lot of backstory from the characters, what we missed throughout the first one, what we missed in their lives, how they grew up, how they forgot what happened to them. You get a brief but pretty good history of Derry and Pennywise as the character. Bill Skarsgård is back and just as good as he was in the first one. You get a little backstory into Pennywise, the character, like I said. There was a lot of creepy scenes, there was a lot of funny scenes, and then to me there was a lot of filler. We're going to get into some cons now. To me, the filler would have to be Bowers. Henry Bowers is in this movie, and I feel like it was very unnecessary. They put him in only to have Henry Bowers in the movie. I just feel like it didn't work. It was a waste of time. Like, we went through like 3-4 scenes with him, and it didn't matter to the plot. It really, it didn't. They just needed to have him in it. The time, the length, though it didn't bother me, it didn't feel like 3 hours at all. Probably felt around 2 hours, 15 minutes. But you could have cut out the first scene in this movie, to me, was not needed in this movie. Or at least the way they went about it. Because Pennywise is supposed to be terrorizing children in the town. Not adults or late teens or whatever these people are considered. This is the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the movie, so it's not really a spoiler. There's a gay couple that's in town or lives in the town, and they go to the fair, and then people beat them up brutally and basically try to kill someone. And it just didn't feel very realistic. And the way they went about it was just, I think, for shock value, along with a little bit of 2019 inclusion for everyone, because I feel like the scene did not need to be there. They added it for a reason, and it wasn't really for the film. That's just my opinion. I think it was just added in. You could have had that same scene with kids beating up a kid, like how Henry Bowers did, and it would have made more sense to me because Pennywise goes after children, and these people were not children. That's just me. I feel at times this movie tries a little too hard to be like the novel, and I know people love the novel and want crazy, but some things don't work on film. We learned that from Marvel, not really Marvel. Marvel's done a pretty good job, but just comic book movies in general. Sometimes it doesn't work put on the film. And some of the scenes, I don't know if it was just because of the CGI, what I think was very hit or miss. When it comes to Pennywise himself, the CGI and stuff is very well done, but I feel like it wasn't well done when it came to him turning into an old lady that's like 10 feet tall. What did not work for me. And a bunch of other scenes that the CGI just doesn't look like the budget for this film should. Also, when I'm mentioning the CGI, I feel like they tried too hard. There was a lot of times where Pennywise would be doing stuff and I'd be into it, and then he would his face would morph a little and it would just look very off to me. And it kind of takes me out of that moment. I don't know if that was just a me problem, but it took me out of the moment of, oh my God, what's going on, to, oh, it's CGI morphed face Pennywise. There's a scene with Bill Hader towards, I guess, the middle of the movie, maybe even before that. And this is one of the main things I'm talking about, because I'm not going to go into detail. I don't want to spoil anything. One last negative I have is there's continuity problems when it comes to the first and the second one. Like I said, there's flashbacks. They show stuff that's not even mentioned or a part of the first one. And to me, I always thought Beverly left after the events of it, Chapter 1. And she's in some of these events, and I'm like, but I thought she left. So why is she included in this little scene? I'll get into it after the score. What I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have it at a 3.5 out of 5, what would be a 7 out of 10 if you go by that. I think it's a solid film. It has a lot of fun. James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, the Old Spice guy all do great. I'm going to get into some spoilers right now, and if you haven't seen the movie, click off. 3, 2, 1. Eddie's the one I have a problem with. Eddie felt very ramped up compared to his childhood character, and very over the top, and I did not like that about this movie. Even when they flash back to him, he is so loud and out there and cursing. And I know they cursed. And I don't care about the cursing. But it just felt a little forced to make him even more, crazy and funny. And it didn't work for me. I laughed at a few times. But I feel like they were, like I said, trying too hard. And when it comes to the continuity errors or problems, they go to this clubhouse that we don't see in the first one. What I'm fine with. I get it. The Losers Club lasted after that. But Beverly's supposed to be gone with her aunt. And she's not. She's at this clubhouse. And she was supposed to be gone. So I don't know if it's just me nitpicking, but to me that seems like a continuity error. And I didn't like it. It felt very out of place since she's supposed to be gone. Maybe I'm crazy and I'm the only one thinking of this, but that's one of the few continuity errors I picked up on. Last thing I want to mention, the CGI scene with Bill Hader is a very good scene. We're in the park by, I think it's Paul Bunyan or whatever his name is, and Pennywise floats down and pretty much tortures Bill Hader's character by mocking him, making fun of him. And Bill runs away. Well, not Bill, Richie. Richie runs away. And he does this like close up on Pennywise, and his face gets all morphed, and there's no reason for it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why do you have to always tweak and touch his character when there's no reason for it? I get the novel's crazy, it's a sci-fi, whatever, but that scene didn't warrant that. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, and I hope you like this quick review. It's not really that quick, but I didn't have much time, and I feel like this is the fastest way to get it out to you guys. See you guys next time.